Good evening and welcome to UTV Live. Congratulations have been pouring in all day for Northern Ireland's new World Boxing Champion, Carl Frampton. The First and Deputy First Ministers hailed the Jackal's Titanic win over Kiko Martinez as a great night for boxing, but also for Belfast. Over 16,000 people cheered him at Titanic Belfast in what was the largest boxing match ever staged in Northern Ireland. Belfast Lord Mayor Nicola Mallon is planning to host a civic reception to recognise Carl's amazing achievement. Our sports reporter Ruth Gorman was ringside for the big fight.
Belfast looked spectacular last night as fans flew in from as far away as Australia and America to witness Carl Frampton become the new IBF Super Bantamweight Champion of the World. His daughter Carla was ringside with wife Christine for her first fight, but fell asleep for the duration.
Carla fell asleep. I was thinking of, I wanted to get her in and for some pictures, but maybe someone's got a picture. I held her for about 2 seconds after it, but she's here, and I'll keep, I'll keep telling her about it forever. It's a night I'll never forget.
The ultimate family man, Frampton dedicated his world title to his late grandfather, who passed away recently, and he provided some of the inspiration in the dressing room, along with the scan of his second child due in November. The build-up had been incredible all week, leading up to the rematch between Frampton and Martinez, and when it came down to business, the Jackal from Tigers Bay left no one in any doubt who deserved the title more. The crowd roared Frampton on with every punch, but Martinez didn't give up his belt easily. In the end, Frampton and the crowd knew he'd won before the judges' unanimous decision was announced.
I don't know what to say, really. It's still sore head and everything else, sore hands. It was a tough night. But it was worth it. It was worth it, really was.
I thought he was incredible. He was majestic. He was magnificent with his skills and boxing ability the whole way through the fight. It's definitely in the ranking of one of the best fights of the year. And I'm so proud of Carl, and I'm so proud of this other kid. Shane. The relationship they have is remarkable. I said many years ago this guy would be the world champion, and people laughed at me. I said he's the best fighter in 35 years in Belfast and in Ireland, and they all went, yeah, you're talking out of your backside. Now look what's happened. And I'm telling you, you've only seen the beginning of Carl Frampton and what he can do. He's going to be an extraordinary champion, and he's going to go on to do huge things.
After the fight, Frampton showed true sportsmanship by visiting his opponent's dressing room.
I respect him more than any other person I've faced. He was a worthy champion, true warrior, kept coming. Tough man to win a title off. I'm very, very proud.
McGuigan has mentioned Leo Santa Cruz and Scott Quigg as potential future fights, but says Frampton must now take time out to recover. He made a promise the belt would stay in Belfast, and this morning Carl Frampton woke up as a world champion. Ruth Gorman, UTV Live.
Good evening. The Lord Mayor of Belfast is planning to host a reception for Northern Ireland's new boxing world champion, Carl Frampton. The man from Tigers Bay defeated Kiko Martinez on a unanimous points decision last night in front of 16,000 delirious fans. Kevin Sharkey reports.
Expectations and spirits high as thousands made their way to the big fight night. A world title on the line and a constant line of fans on their way to see it. They came from near and far.
I'm from East Belfast. I'm buzzing for it.
Aye, buzzing. Going to win, like.
We are from Spain, from Madrid. We support Kiko Martinez.
But this was Frampton's hometown, so even this early in the night, time to tempt fate.
Carl Frampton steps up onto the ring and salutes his army of followers.
All eyes on him now, thousands of fans. His family at ringside, including his youngest fan, his 3-year-old daughter Carla.
Is it going to be a glory night for Carl Frampton?
The Belfast boxer took control from the start, scoring early and often. But his ecstatic fans were looking for more, and in round 5, their hero obliged.
Single shot, caught by right hand.
Martinez refused to give up, battling bravely to hold onto his belt. But by the end, the fans knew the title was changing hands.
Carl Frampton has made this his night, and the final bell goes. His arms raised aloft. Carl Frampton cheered aloft. He knows he
I had a dream and I've achieved it, but it feels amazing. It's been 20 years. I've been boxing. I had my first fight in a hotel in Port Stewart when I was 7 years old, and I've come a long way since, and I'm very, very proud and very grateful for everyone who helped me along the way.
After the fight, his next challenge to keep the belt in Belfast. Kevin Sharkey, BBC Newsline.
Good evening. Welcome to UTV Live. Northern Ireland has another knockout star on the international sporting stage. Carl Frampton is the toast of the boxing world following his superb win over Kiko Martinez in Titanic, Belfast. In a moment we'll be hearing from Carl, but first Ruth Gorman reports on his Titanic victory.
It was a night that Carl Frampton and Belfast will never forget.
And the new IBF Super Bantamweight champion.
Becoming the new IBF champion of the world in front of 16,000 home fans was nothing short of what the Jackal deserved.
Unbelievable. I thought the atmosphere, it might have been lost in the sky because it's open air, but it wasn't. It was best atmosphere I've ever been involved in. It was shown worldwide, and it puts Belfast in a good light.
At just 25 years old, trainer Shane McGuigan, along with Frampton at 27, are one of the youngest combinations to ever win a world title.
Oh, proud doesn't even describe it. You know, he's done it, and he's done it the hard way. He's had to fight really hard for that world title against a valid world champion in Kiko Martinez. And Carl went out there and boxed his ears off. You know, from start to finish, was the better man, and you know, he stuck to the game plan. And I can't be happier for him.
So what's next for our new world champion?
We're not going to talk about any other fights for the time being. We've talked about them until we're blue in the face. We've got possibly a mandatory defence, possibly a chance to fight Leo Santa Cruz, a chance to fight Scott Quigg. But all of those things are in the distance. He's got to recover. It's an awfully hard fight. I think he might have cracked his left hand, so he's got to get a time for that to recover too. And he's got quite a bit of bruising around his face, so we need time for him just to chill out and get well.
Well, time is short. Our reporter Ruth Gorman has caught up with our new world champion, Carl Frampton.
Thanks, Paul. Well, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by our new world champion, Carl Frampton. Carl, it's 2 days since you've won this belt. Has it sunk in yet?
It has now, yeah. I'm over the moon. It's a dream come true. It's been a long time coming, but I'm very happy now. Happy man.
What about your hand? It seemed to be pretty badly damaged.
I've got some problems. We got it x-rayed and stuff. There's a few ligament issues with the ligaments and potentially a small fracture there on my left hand. So. That'll take a while to heal.
What's next for you? You know, you've mentioned Scott Quigg.
Quigg's a fight that I would love because I don't think it's a hard fight. There's much harder fights out there. Santa Cruz is a much tougher fight. I would also like that. Chris Avalos is now a mandatory. Abner Mares, who's the featherweight, massive name in America, says he would come down to super bantamweight to fight me. So, you know, I'm going to have a rest here, heal up properly, let the hands heal. And we'll make a decision after that.
What way did you celebrate yesterday?
I went out for a meal. I had about 4 small glasses of champagne and was nearly talking to myself when I got home. So it's because I eat so clean, you know. I'm not a big drinker at the best of times either. So 4 glasses went to my head a bit.
You must be, you know, overwhelmed by the support, not just on fight night, but since you've won.
It's great, you know. People are they have shown me a lot of support. Now I'm getting even more. The reception tomorrow is going to be nice. Obviously, it was very nice to meet the Deputy First Minister and the First Minister today. So, it's all looking good, and people are obviously appreciating that I'm putting a lot of hard work in.
And it's not just, you know, here. You're getting support from all over the world. Yeah,
Naomi Campbell. That was a surprise. I got a tweet from her. Sheamus, the wrestler from WWE, sent me a tweet. McElroy, Bono sent me a nice gift. Marcus Mumford and Kerry Mulligan sent me a nice gift as well, so it's great. It's really great.
And you've obviously another big part of your life still to come.
Honestly, this will be the best year of my life. Just won a world title, achieved a dream after 20 years. I've got a baby on the way pretty soon. Best year ever, you know, can't wait.
Carl, thanks very much for joining us. Well done again on your success. And that civic reception for Carl Frampton is in Belfast City Hall tomorrow at 1 p.m. and all are welcome to come along. For now, it's back to the studio.
Thank you, Ruth, and if you can't make it, we'll have coverage here on UTV.
Carl Frampton's world title victory is more than a story about boxing or sport. It's about this Belfast man's 20-year journey of training and sacrifice, and his success in forging respect and admiration on both sides of the community. And that was so clear at the weekend when 16,000 people braved the cold to watch the IBF fight against the Spaniard Kiko Martinez on the Titanic slipways. Our first report this evening is from Stephen Watson, and here is the moment the man they call the Jackal was crowned champion.
The new champion of the world, Carl Frampton!
An unforgettable moment in front of his adoring fans. Carl Frampton always believed his time would come.
I never really doubted myself. I had a dream and I've achieved it, but it feels amazing. It's been 20 years. I've been boxing. I had my first fight in a hotel in Port Stewart when I was 7 years old, and I've come a long way since, and I'm very, very proud and very grateful for everyone who helped me along the way.
This is going to be an amazing night for boxing and for sport here.
He may be small, but Frampton packs a powerful punch.
Once again, little uppercut tried and missing. Gets him with the right hand. Down he goes.
His opponent bounced back after an early knockdown, but Frampton was awarded a unanimous decision at the end of a thrilling fight.
What a finish! Martinez holds the hand.
Unbelievable atmosphere. You can't beat an atmosphere in Belfast. Like that was so noisy in there. What a night! This was showed worldwide. It just shows that Belfast, not just for sport, but it's an unbelievable city. I'm always talking about Belfast. I love it. I'm very proud to be from Belfast.
But now Carl Frampton has the world at his feet after emulating the achievements of his manager Barry McGuigan almost 30 years ago. Stephen Watson, BBC Newsline.
The fight was one of the biggest sporting events to be staged in Belfast in recent years, and boxing fans hope it's the first of many. As BBC Newsline's Mark Simpson reports, Carl Frampton's star is on the rise.
The first stop for the new world champion was Stormont. And the first question for the slightly bruised Belfast boxer: how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a bit sore, okay, but I'm world champion now. It's been a long time coming. It was a dream of mine since I was a kid, so I'm over the moon, but still very sore.
This is helping to ease the pain, and it was given to him by the man he beat on Saturday night, Kiko Martinez.
Yeah, this is Kiko's. Very kindly let me keep the belt for a couple of weeks until I get my belt, just for photographs and press stuff. So that was very nice.
16,000 fans watched him win on Saturday night. So is there going to be another Frampton fight in Belfast soon?
Yeah, we hope so. I'd like to tackle the States one day and hit America, but once or twice in my career at least, but most of my fights I want to be home at Belfast.
On the streets of North Belfast, where he grew up, he's the local hero.
He would be in the shop now and again. His mummy and daddy are in all the time. So they are. I was at the fight myself, like it was fantastic atmosphere and everything.
What I like about it is there's not many people from around here could walk down the Falls Road there, and everyone would shake his hand, There's not a lot of people could say that, It's great. He's brought bringing the whole country together. It's not just around here following him. It's the whole of Northern Ireland. He's brought the whole country to a standstill,
We're so proud of him. He's absolutely fantastic. He's a great role model. Talk about Rory McIlroy. Carl Frampton's the next best thing to come out of here. He's absolutely fantastic.
It was quite a night here. 16,000 people from right across Belfast and beyond, sitting together, singing together, and in the end, celebrating together. It seems everyone had a good time, and the behaviour of the fans has been praised.
It was a good night for the police, but more importantly, it was a good night for the fans. It was a good night for Carl Frampton, and it was a great night for Belfast and a great night for Northern Ireland.
And for all those involved, the hope is there's much more to come. Mark Simpson, BBC Newsline.
And we'll have Barry McGuigan, the manager of Carl Frampton, here in the studio later. Now, there's one man who will understand more than most how it feels to be Carl Frampton right now. Barry McGuigan is with Stephen Watson here in the studio.
Donna, thank you very much. Barry McGuigan is, of course, Carl Frampton's manager. He won his world title back in 1985. Nearly 3 decades on, your prodigy has achieved the very same feat. How do you reflect on that fabulous occasion on Saturday night?
It was the most amazing weekend. Incredible. A lot of hard work to put it together, and of course a lot of risk and a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of pressure on Carl, quite honestly. So he had to produce it. This guy is so cool, so phlegmatic, so calm. He was able to keep it together and put on the performance of his life. And he had to, because Kiko Martinez came as an improved fighter in every department, particularly defensively. And Carl found it much more difficult to hit him clean. But when he did hit him, he dropped him, and he won 11 rounds out of 12 in my book, and had him out on his feet a number of times. But Kiko was so brave, so driven, so determined to correct his last defeat and his only knockout defeat. He was gonna come back and win, but Carl was he was absolutely majestic.
We saw Carl go to Stormont today to see the First Minister and Deputy First Minister with the belt. He looked a little battered and bruised and very, very sore. But when can we see Carl Frampton fight again? And will it be in Belfast?
Well, the bruising is something that's actually going to determine how long he's out. His left hand was very badly hurt, very badly damaged from about round 6 on. So it's ligament damage between the knuckles, so we don't know how long that's going to take to recover. He's got a cut over his right eye, 5 stitches in there, so I think he'll be out for a period of time, and then we'll make a decision on where he goes from here. He has a mandatory defence against a guy called Chris Avalos, which normally takes about, you have to negotiate it within a month and then box within 90 days, so we'll have to wait on that. But then there's Santa Cruz out there, Leo Santa Cruz, who wants to fight again.
Scott Quigg wants
wants it as well. And there's a number of fabulous fights out there, but we want to have them back here in Belfast. They're very big and important ones. We'd like to do showcase ones out in America, but the ones which are of significant importance, we want to have them here.
Barry, thank you very much indeed. Exciting times ahead. Thank you.